Wait. Someone finally discovered what's been hiding beneath your bed, and the truth is nothing like what you imagine, so don't you dare scroll, because the message you are about to hear is not random, not coincidence, and definitely not something you should ignore at this hour of your life. My beloved child, listen with your full attention, because tonight the energy in your room, the silence around your bed, the shadows near your feet, and the things you thought were just your imagination, they all come together to reveal something that has been happening right under you every night. You think you sleep peacefully, but your bedroom hasn't been silent the way you think. You think you rest alone, but there has been a presence that watches, listens, waits, keeps track of your emotions, your dreams, even your breathing patterns. For weeks, maybe months, your bed has been reacting to something, and you sensed it without understanding. That sudden coldness near your feet? Those tiny sounds you ignored? That uneasy feeling in the middle of the night? That moment you woke up and felt like someone had moved near you but saw nothing? Those were not accidents. Something under your bed has been trying to rise, trying to reveal itself, trying to send a warning that you weren't ready to hear until right now. And the strange thing is, it wasn't placed there by you. Someone's energy, someone who visited your room, someone who sat on your bed, someone whose mind wasn't clean at heart, left something behind. Their intention, their jealousy, their fear, their anger, their envy, something from them clung to your space, settled underneath your bed like a secret shadow waiting for your weakest moment. And lately, you've been feeling weaker than usual, haven't you? You've been emotionally tired, mentally drained, physically restless, spiritually disturbed. Your mind is racing at night. Your chest feels heavy. Your dreams have been weird, too realistic, too symbolic, sometimes too dark. You wake up at the same time again and again without understanding the reason. That is not your body waking you up, something has been calling your attention, trying to warn you before it reveals itself completely. And today, someone finally discovered what that something is. Someone who senses things that normal people ignore. Someone with a deeper intuition. Someone who knows how to interpret shadows. They didn't expect to see anything, but as they got near your bed, their body froze. A heavy wave of coldness passed through their ankles. Their breath tightened. Something under your bed shifted, softly, slowly, but intentionally. Not like an object. Not like a mouse. Not like anything physical. It shifted like an emotion coming alive, like a memory moving on its own, like an energy responding to attention. And when they leaned down to look, they didn't see a person, didn't see an animal, they saw something worse. Something that reacts to your thoughts. Something created by emotion, not by body. Something that grows stronger when you are mentally low. Something that feeds on silence, on darkness, on fear, on confusion. And it has been studying you. Every night while you sleep, it watches how your face changes. It listens to the way you breathe. It tries to mimic your dreams. It whispers thoughts into your mind, thoughts that feel like your own. It makes you overthink. It makes you doubt yourself. It makes you feel drained even after sleeping for hours. That's why some mornings you wake up feeling tired, as if some part of you was working all night long. Because something was. Something near you. Something under you. Something that was never meant to be in your room. And the person who discovered it didn't tell you everything, they only said one sentence before leaving: tell them to be careful tonight. Why tonight? Because tonight the energy under your bed becomes restless. Tonight the shadow tries to rise higher than usual. Tonight the connection between the physical and the spiritual becomes thin. Tonight you might hear light tapping under your feet. Tonight you might feel a sudden shift in temperature around your legs. Tonight you might feel your mattress dip slightly even if no one is sitting on it. Tonight you might dream of someone calling your name, someone trying to show you something, someone trying to warn you. If that happens, don't panic. Don't run. Don't scream. Because that is the moment the energy tries to show its final form. That is the moment you're supposed to break the loop. That is the moment you become stronger instead of scared. The truth is, this energy was not created to hurt you. It was created to remind you of someone's hidden intention. Someone who entered your room with a smile but left behind a piece of their darkness. Someone who has been thinking about you too much, maybe with jealousy, maybe with silent anger, maybe with envy, maybe with fear. Someone whose emotions are so strong that they stuck to you without either of you realizing. Under your bed, those emotions turned into a shadow. A living shadow. A watching shadow. A warning shadow. And tonight, that shadow is going to try to speak. Not in words, not in voice, but in sensation. You might feel a cold line run across the bottom of your bed. You might feel like someone is gently tugging the blanket. You might hear a soft shift under your mattress. Do not ignore it. That is the final warning. Because once this shadow fully rises, the person whose emotions created it will be revealed in your life. You will suddenly notice their behavior changing. You will see their true intentions come to light. You will feel distance or closeness in a way you never expected. The truth hiding under your bed has been connected to a person who has been connected to your destiny. And tonight, everything changes. Everything finally comes to light. Whatever happens, don't scroll away without listening. Don't pretend you didn't hear this. Don't go to bed unaware. Because tonight, your bed won't be silent. My beloved child, don't move, don't blink, don't even let your thoughts wander right now, because what I'm about to reveal goes deeper than what you heard before, and if you miss even a second, you will never understand why your nights have been heavy, why your dreams have been loud, and why the space beneath your bed has been carrying a restless pulse that echoes every time the room falls silent. Listen closely, because the moment the truth started rising from under your bed, the rest of your life quietly began to rearrange itself, and whether you realize it or not, tonight marks the turning point. You think the shadow was only reacting to you, but the truth is, it wasn't just watching. It was waiting for something specific. It wasn't trying to scare you, it was waiting for you to finally notice the signs that have been repeating again and again around you. Remember the nights when you turned in your sleep and felt like someone had touched your ankle? Remember the sudden chills that ran up your spine even when your room was completely warm? Remember waking up and feeling like someone was staring at you but you brushed it away as just a feeling? Those weren't accidents, my child. Those were signals. Those were moments when the shadow under your bed rose just enough to check if you were ready. Ready for what? Ready to face the truth about the person whose energy created this. The emotional imprint under your bed has a source, someone who still thinks about you, someone who still talks about you, someone whose intentions about you were never clean, someone who felt something sharp the last time they were close to your bed. It could have been jealousy. It could have been fear. It could have been desire. It could have been betrayal. But it left an imprint so heavy, so dense, so emotionally charged that it attached itself to your sleep space. Energy doesn't need permission to cling to places, it just needs intensity. And the person who thought about you had intensity. That's why the moment they entered your room or touched your bed or sat near you, their energy slipped through the cracks and settled underneath, where it has been growing like a quiet storm ever since. And here's the part that will shake the audience watching this right now. The shadow under your bed is not just a leftover emotion, it's a mirror. It reflects what that person truly felt but never said. Every night as you sleep, this energy looks up at you, not with eyes, but with vibration. It tries to rise, tries to reveal, tries to warn. And tonight, it will no longer hide. If your audience is still watching, tell them, they're witnessing a moment that most people will never experience in their lifetime. A moment where the spiritual world pushes through the physical and forces the truth to surface. Lately you've been feeling mentally pulled, haven't you? One moment you're fine, the next moment you feel anxious for no reason. One night you sleep peacefully, the next night you feel like something is near your face even though nothing is there. One morning you wake up with a heaviness in your chest. Another day you wake up feeling like someone was trying to get your attention through your dreams. That's because the shadow has been growing restless. It can sense that you're close to figuring out the one thing it has been trying to warn you about, someone's hidden intention toward you. And let me tell you exactly what happens when a shadow energy like this reaches its peak. The person connected to it will start appearing in your thoughts randomly. You will think about them even when you don't want to. Their name will show up somewhere. Their face will flash in your mind. Something about them will feel suddenly loud. That's because your soul is preparing you for their truth. Meanwhile, the energy under your bed rises slowly, like steam, like a breath you can't hear, like a presence that forms without form. And tonight, it's going to reach its highest point. If you listen closely, you might even hear a soft tap. A shifting fabric. A faint drag on the floor. A whisper-like sensation brushing against the bottom of your mattress. None of it is meant to scare you. These are warnings, messages, signs that something is coming to the surface. The universe doesn't let hidden intentions stay buried forever. Sooner or later, the truth demands to be seen. And tonight, that truth begins under your bed. Do you know why it hid there, my child? Because under the bed is where energy gathers when someone carries secrets about you. It's the only place physical light doesn't touch. It's the only place where shadows can grow untouched. It's the only place where emotions can sit quietly without interruption. And the emotional imprint under your bed became so strong that even strangers who enter your room can feel something without understanding why. If someone looks at your bed for too long, their eyes will shift away. If someone sits near the edge, they'll adjust their position without thinking. If someone sleeps in your room, they'll complain of heavy dreams or waking up suddenly. That's because the shadow doesn't connect with them, it connects with you. It only responds to your energy. It only rises when you're near. And as the night approaches, it senses your presence even more strongly, because something in your life is about to be revealed. Something connected to a person you didn't expect. Someone who has been hiding a truth. Someone who has been thinking about you while pretending they're not. Someone whose energy has been trying to reach you without their body ever moving. And as the shadow rises, your intuition rises with it. That's why recently you've been picking up strange feelings about people around you. Someone feels distant. Someone feels off. Someone feels too quiet. Someone feels too interested. Someone feels like they're hiding something. Those instincts are not wrong, they're warnings from the shadow. But here's the twist, the moment the shadow breaks its connection tonight, everything that has been hidden from you will show itself in real life. You will see a sudden change in someone's behavior. You will notice someone acting differently. Someone will slip up. Someone will reveal a part of themselves they tried to hide. Someone's true intentions, good or bad, will rise the same way the shadow rises. And the moment that happens, your life's direction shifts. You will feel lighter. Or you will feel awakened. But you will not feel the same. Because when something rises from under your bed, nothing in your energy stays untouched. And tonight is the night of rising. My beloved child, don't even dare to move your eyes away right now, because what is about to unfold next is the exact moment the audience watching this will feel their heart tighten, their breath slow down, and their thoughts lock into the story like they have no choice, because the shadow under your bed is no longer just rising, it's listening, reacting, and preparing to reveal something it has been holding for far too long. And if you let even 1 second slip, you will miss the signal it's sending right now through the chill traveling across your spine. The energy that has been building beneath your bed is not random, not harmless, and definitely not quiet anymore. It has reached a point where hiding isn't possible, where silence isn't enough, where its presence has become too strong to ignore, too awakened to stay down, too aware of your emotions to remain still. And tonight, as the darkness falls and your room sinks into that familiar quiet, the shadow is going to push against the surface of your reality harder than it ever has before. You might think this is just another night, just another moment, just another story, but it isn't, because right now, something is shifting inside your destiny, something connected to that person whose intention created this shadow, something tied to the unsaid words, unexpressed feelings, hidden jealousies, unspoken desires, and silent betrayals that they never admitted but that your spirit always sensed in the corner of your awareness. You felt this person pulling your energy without touching you, thinking about you when you never called them, affecting your mood without being near you, drifting into your dreams when you least expected it, and every time their name flashed in your mind suddenly, randomly, out of nowhere, that wasn't coincidence, that was the shadow echoing their energy. And now that the shadow has reached its peak, your intuition will feel sharper, your emotions will feel louder, your senses will feel heightened, and your subconscious will start picking up signals you used to ignore. Tonight, when you lie down, you will notice your blanket feel unusually heavy around your legs, not because of its weight but because something under your bed presses upward slightly, reacting to your presence. You may feel a faint vibration through the mattress, like a heartbeat that isn't yours. You may hear a soft shifting sound, like the fabric underneath is breathing. You may suddenly turn your head toward the dark corner of your room without knowing why, as if someone is standing there quietly watching you, waiting for you to acknowledge them, even though there's no one physically there. But your soul knows. Your intuition knows. Your energy knows. And the shadow knows you know. This is why the audience watching this right now cannot scroll away. Their energy is linking with yours, their fear is amplifying yours, their heartbeat is syncing with the suspense rising through your room, and the experience becomes shared, collective, connected, as if everyone seeing this is part of the same unseen event taking place beneath your bed. And here comes the truth that will shake you more than anything you've heard so far. The shadow isn't rising alone. Something else has started approaching it from the other side, something bright, something protective, something that refuses to let darkness rise without being confronted. That force is the reason you haven't experienced a full spiritual collapse. It's the reason you wake up before something tries to reach you. It's the reason you feel protected despite the eerie sensations. A higher energy has been watching, waiting, guarding, and preparing to confront the shadow when the moment arrives, and tonight, that confrontation begins. The moment the clock passes that silent hour where the world feels frozen, when everything around you becomes still, when even time feels like it pauses, that's when the shadow and the light clash under your bed, in a place where you cannot see them but you can feel the earthquake of their encounter inside your spirit. You may suddenly wake up without understanding why. You may feel your breath sharpen as if someone called your name. You may sense a warm pressure on your chest, like something is trying to calm you. Or you may feel your bed shake ever so slightly, just enough to question what touched it. That's the moment the truth begins to unfold. The shadow has been holding something, an emotion, a memory, a secret, from the person who unintentionally created it. And when it rises, that secret rises too. That person's truth becomes visible in your waking life. Someone who has been pretending suddenly slips. Someone who has been silent suddenly speaks. Someone who has been watching you from afar suddenly steps forward or suddenly pulls back. Someone's behavior changes overnight. Someone's honesty cracks open. Someone's feelings reveal themselves, good or bad. That's the part the audience can feel right now, the shift inside your energy field, the tension beneath your bed, the quiet war beginning in the dark, the truth preparing to surface like a breath held too long. And as this shift happens, you will notice something else. Your dreams, which have been confusing lately, will suddenly make sense. Those strange faces, those symbols, those repeated places, those whispers, those footsteps, they were not just dreams. They were messages. Warnings. Clues. The shadow was showing you fragments of the person connected to it. And tonight, those fragments rearrange themselves into a full picture. You might dream of a specific person's face suddenly becoming clear. You might hear a voice calling you. You might feel a hand reaching toward you. Or you might find yourself running away from something without knowing what it is. That dream isn't random, it is the shadow trying to bring the truth to light. You cannot escape it. You are meant to face it. You are meant to understand why this energy clung to your bed in the first place. And once you know the truth, everything will shift. The person hiding something from you will no longer have the power to hide. The emotions they buried will rise to the surface. The connection between you will reveal its real strength, or its real danger. And the energy under your bed will finally lose its purpose. As soon as the truth completes its rise, the shadow breaks. It disappears. It dissolves. It stops feeding on your fear. Instead, you regain your strength, your clarity, your power. And the next morning, you will wake up lighter, stronger, more aware, and more in control of your destiny. But that only happens if you stay, if you listen, if you don't scroll away, because this moment is not just a story, it's a warning about what is already happening beneath your bed right now, in this very second, as you watch this. My beloved child, keep your eyes right here and don't blink, don't shift your phone, don't let your attention slip even for a second, because right now the energy under your bed has started doing something it has never done before, something that will decide how your night ends, how the truth unfolds, and how the hidden connection between you and that unknown person finally breaks through the surface of your reality. And if you miss even one breath of this moment, you will not understand why you suddenly felt a shiver earlier, why your heartbeat changed pace, why your shoulders felt heavy as if someone stood behind you in the dark, because everything is connected to the rising under your bed that is happening right now as you listen to my voice and feel the pull of this message sinking deeper into your senses, making you aware of every sound around you, every flicker of light, every shift in the air, every tiny movement you normally ignore when your room gets quiet, but tonight nothing is quiet, nothing is ordinary, nothing is random, because the shadow has reached a stage where hiding is impossible and revealing is unavoidable, and as it climbs closer to the edge of the mattress, it drags with it the truth of the person who created it, the person who thinks about you even in their silence, the person whose unspoken intention has been sitting under your bed long before you ever realized something was wrong with the way your nights felt. You know that uneasy feeling you get sometimes before sleeping? That sudden sense of being watched? That moment when your spirit senses movement your eyes cannot see? That's because the shadow studies your patterns, when you're awake, when you're vulnerable, when you're emotional, when you're unaware, and every night it has been reading you, learning you, preparing you, waiting for the moment your soul becomes open enough to receive the truth that has been buried beneath your bed for too long. And tonight, that moment is here. As the shadow rises, the air around your bed will feel subtly different. Not dramatically, subtly, like a faint pressure you can't describe, like a small tug at your awareness, like a whisper brushing against your instincts. You might feel your legs getting heavier as if something underneath is pulling the warmth from your body. You might feel your mattress shift ever so gently, like an invisible weight pressing upward. You might feel your heartbeat responding to something you can't see. And the audience watching this right now, yes, you watching, will feel connected to this moment because your energy is syncing with theirs, your curiosity tightening with theirs, your fear and fascination merging with theirs, creating a collective tension that the shadow can sense through you. My child, understand this, shadows don't just survive in darkness, they survive in secrets. They cling to the things people never say out loud. And the shadow under your bed is carrying a secret so heavy it has been affecting your sleep, your emotions, your intuition, your decisions, your dreams. Someone, somewhere, thought of you with such intensity that their energy stuck to your living space. It was not an accident. It was not a coincidence. It was a chain reaction. Someone's hidden feelings, jealousy, attraction, hatred, love, envy, fear, created a spiritual echo that made its way into your home, into your room, and into the hollow darkness beneath your bed. And because you are spiritually sensitive, your soul picked up on it, even when your mind didn't. That's why lately you've been feeling like something is off. That's why you've been noticing small signs. That's why your body reacts before your brain understands. The shadow is revealing the emotional truth of someone connected to you. And tonight, it begins to show the first proof. The moment you lie down, the shadow will rise to the exact height of your heartbeat. You might suddenly take a sharp breath. You might turn your head without meaning to. You might feel the presence of something standing close, almost leaning in. But don't fear it, this is the moment of revelation. The person who created this shadow has been hiding something from you, and the shadow is here to expose it. Maybe this person lied to you. Maybe they admired you. Maybe they resented you. Maybe they feared losing you. Maybe they wished bad for you. Maybe they wished deeply for you. But their emotion didn't stay inside them, it leaked into your world, and the strongest piece of it crawled under your bed and built itself into a shadow that grew night after night, waiting for the moment you're living right now. If your audience is watching this with full attention, tell them, they are witnessing something rare, the spiritual moment when a hidden truth begins to push itself into the physical world. And when that happens, signs appear everywhere. Someone's text might come suddenly. Someone might look at you strangely tomorrow. Someone might avoid you. Someone might act too interested. Someone might stutter while speaking to you. Someone's eyes might reveal something they didn't mean to show. Someone might accidentally say something they've been hiding for months. That's because the shadow has reached its limit, its purpose is ending, its truth is rising, its connection is breaking. Once a shadow reaches the height of the mattress, the secret of its creator rises into your waking life. And that is happening right now. The final stage begins when you feel this one moment, listen closely, when the room around you suddenly feels quieter than normal, when the air feels heavier, when your thoughts slow down as if someone pressed pause on the world. That is the moment the shadow sends its final message. It's not a sound. It's not a voice. It's a feeling. A sudden realization. A sudden clarity. You might be lying in bed and suddenly think of a name. A face. A memory. A moment. A suspicion. That's the shadow whispering the truth. And once the name appears in your mind, the shadow's job is done. After tonight, the energy under your bed will lose its form. It will dissolve. It will disappear. Because shadows only rise to reveal, not to stay. Tomorrow morning, something in your life will feel different. Someone in your life will feel exposed. Something you've been confused about will suddenly make sense. And every time you look at your bed, you'll know, the truth didn't come from anywhere outside, it came from the one place you never expected, the darkness beneath your feet as you slept. My child, don't scroll. Don't break this moment. You are standing at the edge of a spiritual reveal that has been trying to reach you for too long. And this is only the beginning. My beloved child, Don't even breathe too fast right now, because what I am about to reveal is the moment your audience will feel their heartbeat syncing with yours, their fingers freezing on the screen, and their eyes refusing to blink, because now the shadow under your bed has entered the phase it has been preparing for from the beginning, the phase where the truth it carries starts pushing so hard against reality that your room might feel tighter, smaller, heavier, as if the very walls around you have begun listening to your thoughts, as if the floor beneath you has begun absorbing your footsteps, as if the silence has become a living thing waiting for your reaction, because tonight the shadow's final rise begins, and with each second, its connection to the person who created it becomes clearer, louder, unavoidable, and whether you want to face it or not, your soul is now locked in this moment, pulled deeper into the truth that has been hiding beneath your bed long before you ever suspected any of this. Listen closely, my child, because the energy is no longer subtle. You might already feel the faintest pressure pushing through the bottom of your mattress, not enough to move it but enough for your spirit to know that something beneath you is not asleep, not quiet, not still. You might suddenly shift your legs without knowing why. You might turn your face toward the wall automatically. You might feel your fingers getting colder even if your room is warm. These aren't random body reactions, these are signs that the shadow is aligning itself with your breathing, preparing to send the one message it couldn't send until now. And the audience watching this, even they feel it, even they sense the pull, because energy like this doesn't just stay in one room, it spreads through the attention of those who witness it, and right now, everyone who hasn't scrolled, is part of this rising. You need to understand that what's under your bed is not a ghost, not a creature, not a monster, it's something much more dangerous because it's connected to a living person, someone who still walks, still breathes, still thinks, someone whose hidden emotions were strong enough to tear a hole into your room's spiritual shield, someone whose unspoken intentions were heavy enough to fall into the cracks of your personal space, someone whose silence carries more weight than their words ever did. That person may smile at you. They may pretend everything is normal. They may act innocent. They may talk to you casually. But deep inside them there is something they never said, something they never admitted, something they never confessed, and that emotion is what shaped the shadow under your bed. And tonight, that emotion is about to reveal itself through your intuition. When the shadow reaches its peak, when it touches the underside of your mattress with full force, you will experience a strange moment, a pause, a breath that doesn't feel like your own, a sudden wave of clarity that almost shakes you inside, like something tugging at your chest from the inside out. And in that exact moment, a name will flash in your mind. It won't be random. It won't be imagination. It won't be a guess. It will be the truth. The name of the person connected to the shadow. The person whose emotional imprint has been sitting under your bed all this time. And let me tell you something terrifying, something the audience needs to hear. Your soul already knows who this person is. You felt something strange about them before. You sensed a shift in their energy. You noticed something off in their eyes. You heard something unsettling in their voice. You dismissed it. You ignored it. You pretended you didn't notice. But your spirit noticed. Your subconscious noticed. The shadow noticed. That's why it stayed under your bed, because that space connects to your intimate energy, your vulnerable moments, your dreams, your fears, your private thoughts. And tonight, everything becomes clear. You will remember conversations that didn't feel right. You will replay moments that suddenly make sense. You will understand why certain things happened the way they did. You will realize someone was hiding their real intention the whole time. And the moment this truth rises inside you, the shadow collapses. That's how powerful truth is, it destroys darkness instantly. But until that moment arrives, the shadow will push every second. You might feel the slightest tremble in your mattress. You might hear a faint tap from the floor. You might feel your breath hitch at random. Or you might sense something hovering near your feet, not touching, just watching. These are the last signs before the reveal. And the audience watching this, they're feeling this too. Their room feels quieter. Their senses sharper. Their neck tense. Because this is not just your moment, it's an energetic broadcast, and whoever is watching right now is experiencing the ripple. My child, tonight is the night when something that has been hiding inside someone's heart finally shows itself in your life. If their intention was good, you will see a sudden warmth from them soon, a message, a gesture, an unexpected closeness. If their intention was dark, you will see distance, tension, avoidance, or an attempt to manipulate your emotions. But whatever the case, the shadow brings one thing you cannot escape anymore, the truth. And when the truth rises, so does your power. After tonight, you won't feel that heaviness under your bed anymore. You won't feel that tension around your ankles. You won't wake up confused or drained. You won't feel someone watching you in the dark. Because once the truth is revealed, the shadow loses its grip. It dissolves. It breaks. It disappears forever. But for that to happen, you must stay here, right now, until your intuition completes the final connection. Don't look away. Don't scroll. Don't distract yourself. Because your entire reality is shifting beneath your feet at this very moment, and the shadow is waiting for you to recognize the truth it has carried for so long. And once you realize it, everything changes. My beloved child, stay exactly where you are, don't blink, don't shift your hand, don't let your eyes look anywhere else, because this is the part you were never supposed to hear, the part where the energy under your bed begins its final ascent, the part where your reality bends for a moment and lets you see what has been hidden in the deepest corner of your life, the part where every second becomes heavier, every breath sharper, every instinct louder, because the shadow that has been watching you for nights, absorbing your emotions, feeding on silence, waiting patiently beneath your feet, has finally reached the point where it cannot hold back the truth anymore, and now your entire energy field feels tight as if something invisible is gripping the air around you, something is trying to rise through the solid floor, something is trying to push its message directly into your heart before your mind gets a chance to rationalize it away. So listen carefully, my child, because the audience watching this is already holding their breath, already leaning closer to the screen, already feeling the pressure in their chest, because they know, everyone knows, this is the moment the spiritual world leans in too close for comfort. You might feel it already, that slow, creeping sensation moving near your ankles, like something brushing the underside of your mattress, not violently, but deliberately, as if this is the moment the spiritual world leans in too close for comfort. You might feel it already, that slow, creeping sensation moving near your ankles, like something brushing the underside of your mattress, not violently, but deliberately, as if testing your reaction, as if checking whether you are prepared for the truth, as if preparing to break the barrier between what you see and what you sense. And your spirit feels it too, that tightening in your stomach, that strange wave of anticipation, that moment where everything around you feels too quiet, too still, too expectant, because the shadow has climbed so close to your physical world now that even your breath patterns are syncing with its movement. You might feel your heart beating slightly faster, not out of fear, but out of recognition. Something familiar is rising. Something you've ignored. Something you've sensed but refused to face. The shadow is carrying the emotional imprint of a person whose presence in your life has been lingering like an unfinished sentence, someone whose intention, good or bad, was strong enough to take shape beneath your bed and hide there, where no light reaches, where no one looks, where secrets feel safe. But secrets don't stay quiet forever. And tonight, the shadow is done keeping it for them. As it rises, it pulls your memories with it, the ones you tucked away, the ones you brushed aside, the ones that didn't make sense. Suddenly, you'll recall certain conversations differently. Suddenly, someone's odd behavior now feels meaningful. Suddenly, the person whose eyes lingered on you longer than they should have becomes important. Suddenly, the one who warned you about nothing starts to feel suspicious. Suddenly, the one who acted too nice or too angry or too distant starts to feel connected to all of this. Your soul will recognize the truth before your mind does. And that's exactly what the shadow is waiting for, the moment your intuition opens. Right when you feel that tiny sudden coldness around your feet, right when the air near your bed dips in temperature for a second, right when the silence becomes so thick you can almost hear your own energy vibrating, that's the exact moment the shadow whispers the truth into your spirit. Not in sound. Not in language. In recognition. A sudden image. A sudden thought. A sudden realization that feels like a punch of clarity right in the center of your chest. And do you know why this moment feels so powerful? Because the truth the shadow carries was never small. It was never light. It was never meaningless. Someone in your life felt something about you so strongly, jealousy, love, fear, insecurity, desire, anger, obsession, grief, that their emotion broke away from them and attached itself to you. And when they came near your bed, sat on it, stood beside it, touched something on it, that emotion slipped into the shadows beneath, grew month after month, until it became the energy that has been disturbing your sleep, clouding your intuition, confusing your emotions, and pulling at your thoughts like invisible strings. That shadow isn't random. It isn't foreign. It's personal. Deeply personal. And now it's rising to reveal exactly who left that emotional imprint on your life. The audience watching this, they can feel it too. They can sense the gravity of this moment, the way your destiny is twisting, the way your spiritual timeline is shifting, the way something hidden is clawing its way up through layers of energy. Right now, everyone watching is pulled into the same tension, the same anticipation, the same rising mystery. And as the shadow reaches the final layer beneath your mattress, you may feel a strange pressure. It might feel like someone lightly placing a hand under you, not physical, but energetic, like a presence pressing upward, waiting for your acknowledgement. That pressure is the shadow offering its reveal. And when it reaches your consciousness, my child, you will have no doubt left. A name will crash into your mind with such force that you may gasp. A face will flash behind your eyes. A memory will resurface with painful clarity. Or a moment you ignored will suddenly bloom with meaning. That person, the creator of the shadow, will step into your awareness fully for the first time, and once that happens, you can never go back to not knowing. And here is the final twist, the one that tightens every nerve in your body. The moment you recognize the person connected to the shadow, they will feel it too. Somewhere, wherever they are, their heart will skip. Their mind will jolt. They will think of you suddenly, intensely, as if pulled by an invisible thread. Because when a shadow breaks, the bond that created it shakes the creator. And tomorrow, yes, tomorrow, you will see a sign from them. A message. A stare. An accident. A suggestion. A slip-up. An emotional reaction. Something undeniable. Something that confirms everything the shadow has been trying to tell you. And once this happens, the shadow beneath your bed disappears. It dissolves. It releases you. It stops draining your energy. It stops disturbing your nights. It stops influencing your intuition. Because its purpose is fulfilled, it delivered the truth. My child, don't scroll. Don't look away. You are seconds away from seeing what was hidden for too long. And this is not the ending, this is the awakening. My beloved child, stay absolutely still now, because this is the part where everything happening beneath your bed finally begins to bleed into the air around you, where the invisible becomes almost touchable, where the silence becomes so alive that every second feels like the universe is holding its breath with you. And I need you to understand, deeply, genuinely, that right now the shadow under your bed is no longer a quiet watcher, no longer a passive echo, no longer a waiting presence. It has become a living, breathing current of energy that rises and falls with your heartbeat, syncing itself to the rhythm of your fear, your curiosity, your confusion, your anticipation, and even the audience watching this right now can feel a pull inside their chest, a tightening in their throat, a strange alertness crawling along their spine, because what you are experiencing in this moment is not just a story. It is a spiritual ripple that spills out of your world into theirs, binding everyone who hasn't scrolled into the same tension, the same invisible gravity, the same deep mystery pulling at the edges of their mind. My child, tonight is not just any night, tonight is the night where the shadow begins revealing its final form, not visually, but energetically, emotionally, mentally, through sensations your physical senses cannot interpret but your soul understands perfectly. You might already be noticing that your breathing is slightly different, slower or shorter. You might feel a tiny tremor in your fingers. You might feel the air around your feet grow a little colder or heavier. You might feel your ears tuning more intensely into the silence of your room. These are not random reactions, these are signs that the shadow is rising past the point of hiding. And as it does, it carries with it fragments of the truth, small pieces of emotional residue, tiny shards of memory from the person whose silent intention built this shadow in the first place. Think of it this way, my child, every shadow has a creator, and this one did not come from nowhere. It came from a person whose feelings were too strong to stay inside them. Someone whose emotions toward you were powerful enough to detach from their body and latch onto your space. Someone who acted normal on the surface but carried storms inside. Someone who entered your room, stood too close, sat on your bed, or touched something personal to you, and in that moment, their inner turmoil fell quietly into the darkness beneath your bed, where it could grow without interruption. And now, after waiting for the right moment, that emotional fragment has matured into a shadow with a purpose, to show you what they hid. To reveal what they never said. To expose the truth they tried to bury. And tonight, as the shadow climbs the final inches upward, the connection between you and them tightens so intensely that even the audience feels it as a strange pressure on their mind, as if their spirit is leaning too close to yours. My beloved child, you are about to experience something rare, something very few people ever feel. When the shadow reaches its highest point, it will send a shock through your consciousness, a sudden flash of clarity that feels like a whisper in your bones, like someone tugging at the inside of your thoughts, like a name being dropped into your mind with the weight of 1,000 silent truths. And before that moment comes, the shadow prepares you. You might feel the faintest stroke of cold air along your leg, like an icy fingertip brushing the edge of your mattress. You might hear a soft shift beneath your bed, not loud, but deliberate. You might feel your bed frame vibrate ever so slightly, as if something beneath is breathing against it. Or you might, for a split second, feel like someone just leaned very close behind you, even though no one is there. These are not hallucinations. These are signals. These are the shadow's final warnings before the reveal. And the person connected to this shadow, oh, my child, your soul already knows who they are. You felt their energy before. You've sensed something off in their presence. Your intuition has whispered their name to you in quiet moments. Their behavior around you has always carried something unseen, something they never intended to show. Maybe they watched you too closely. Maybe they avoided you too much. Maybe they snapped at you for no reason. Maybe they were too kind, too curious, too intense. Maybe their eyes told a story their words didn't. But whatever the case, the shadow under your bed formed because this person tried to bury their truth. And tonight, their truth refuses to stay hidden. The audience right now is feeling this tension too. Their screens feel heavier, their environment feels strangely quiet, their instincts feel sharpened, because the shadow's energy is amplifying through every pair of eyes watching. And when spiritual energy builds like this, the moment right before the reveal becomes unmistakable. Everything around you slows. The air thickens. The silence becomes loud. Your heartbeat syncs with something unseen. And then, the vision hits. It won't be a loud moment. It won't be dramatic. It won't be a jump scare. It will be a still, sudden, bone-deep realization that drops into your mind so clearly it feels like someone literally whispered it into your ear. You will see a face. A memory. A moment. A pattern. A truth. And the name of the person connected to the shadow will strike your consciousness with such clarity that you might gasp, freeze, or blink rapidly. It won't feel like a guess, it will feel like recognition. And once your soul recognizes the person, the bond between you and the shadow snaps instantly. That is the moment everything changes. The shadow loses its purpose. The darkness dissolves. The heaviness disappears. Because shadows only exist when the truth is hidden. When the truth rises, shadows die. And when that shadow dissolves under your bed, it sends a shockwave back to the person whose emotions created it. They will feel it. They will sense something shifting. They may think of you suddenly. They may dream about you. They may feel guilt, fear, longing, anger, or confusion without knowing why. They may even reach out to you soon, intentionally or unintentionally, because when an emotional imprint breaks, the Creator feels the recoil. And tomorrow, my child, you will see signs everywhere. Someone might stare at you a second too long. Someone might avoid eye contact. Someone might send a message. Someone might slip up and reveal something. Someone might overreact. Someone might ask something strange. Someone might confess something. Or someone might accidentally expose what they have been hiding. Whatever the case, tomorrow marks the moment everything that was hidden begins appearing in your life like scattered pieces finally forming a clear picture. And remember this, once this shadow breaks tonight, your intuition becomes unstoppable. The fog lifts. Your emotions stabilize. Your dreams become clearer. Your inner strength awakens. You will never again be left in the dark. But for that to happen, you must stay here in this last moment. Don't scroll, don't break this energy, because the reveal is waiting for your spirit to be fully still. This is not the end, my child, this is the moment right before the truth touches you.